Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. Two therapy dogs with the Salinas Fire Department were sent to Southern California to help with the wildfires. Cruz and Taffy have been assisting firefighters and communities impacted by the wildfires in Los Angeles. The official Instagram account of the Salinas Fire Department is quoted as saying, "In an inspiring turn of events, both dogs also had the opportunity to meet Prince Harry, who is known for his philanthropic work and advocacy on various social issues, including disaster relief. This encounter not only boosted their morale, but also emphasized the importance of community and collaboration in the face of such devastating challenges." How adorable are they? That particular black one reminds me of Harry and Meghan's dog Pula. The biggest news of the day, of course, is Prince Harry's victory in his lawsuit against NGN. NGN offered a full and unequivocal apology to the Duke of Sussex for the serious intrusion of the Sun between the years of 1996 to 2011 into his personal life, including incidents of unlawful activities carried out by private investigators working for the Sun. So not only did Prince Harry get his acknowledgment of criminal and unlawful activities, he also got the apology that he has always wanted to begin with. Not only that, he's also gotten an apology for his dearly departed mother, Princess Diana, and an undisclosed, very significant settlement amount, as well as NGN is responsible for paying Prince Harry's lawyer fees, which I would imagine is quite a hefty sum. Congratulations to Prince Harry. Well deserved.
I once said that the big beasts of the tabloid jungle have no predators. I was wrong. They have Prince Harry. His bravery and astonishing courage have brought accountability to a part of the media world that thought it was untouchable. I am sure I speak on behalf of the thousands of victims when I say we are grateful to him for his unwavering support and his determination under extraordinary pressure. If Rupert Murdoch had any decency, he should follow this corporate admission of guilt with a personal apology to Prince Harry and to the countless others who suffered the same unlawful behaviour at the hands of his media empire. News Group Newspapers owes so many such apologies. Thousands of ordinary people just trying to live their lives have endured the same unlawful behaviour.
Rebecca Barry on X said, "In recent years, the Sun has settled more than 1,000 cases out of court, but it's always been without any admission of liability. This is the first time the tabloid has admitted incidents of unlawful activities were carried out by private investigators working for the Sun." Trevor Hallett on X said, "The last-minute wranglings over a settlement are clear now. Harry wasn't willing to settle unless NGN admitted to their illegal activity, which they had previously spent $1 billion on settling cases to avoid saying. For that reason, it was a massive victory for Harry and Tom Watson." Joe on X said, "Very important distinction. Harry hasn't settled. News Group has settled. It's a big difference. Harry concedes nothing. News UK engaged in criminal offences, and they did admit it," which is true.
You can only sue in this country against something that's denied or not admitted. That's the way the law works. If someone admits something, you don't have a cause of action. So once they've admitted what he called for, then it's them settling. It's not Prince Harry. He has conceded nothing. They are paying him damages, and they're paying his legal fees. But that's not Prince Harry backing down. It's not Prince Harry who's admitted anything. It's News Group Newspapers, News UK, saying that the Sun engaged in criminal activity. Let's be clear about that. That's what unlawful activity means. It means blagging of medical records. It means obtaining phone bills. It means, in many cases, phone hacking, listening to voice messages. It means getting financial records. These are all gross intrusions.
And remember, the palace wanted Harry to drop his case. No wonder we see Charles and Camilla here with that fellow, I believe his name is Arthur, of the Sun. Here's William yucking up with Rupert and Rebecca.
Hi, right-wing journalists. I thought, and I know, really stupid, I thought journalists were supposed to fact-check stuff, and I thought that they were supposed to definitely give an opinion, but I thought it was supposed to be based in reality. You're all trying to gaslight people into thinking Prince Harry sold out by taking a settlement. But actually, it wasn't the money, was it? He wanted the newspapers, you guys, to admit that what you did was wrong. And he's got that admission. So he hasn't sold out. He got an apology. He got an apology for his mum, even. That strikes me as somebody with deep-seated integrity. And you lot just making up scripts. It is a little bit farcical, isn't it? And also, just when I'm here, you then say that people don't have any faith in politicians because they lie all the time, yet you're lying all the time. You see, it's quite a heady mix of, isn't it, that you're printing and people are buying and then people online are amplifying. And I just wonder why. Who actually pays you and what do you get out of it? Because it seems to me you're no friends of the UK at all. In fact, your sole purpose right now seems to be stirring up trouble. So the question comes back, who is paying you? And maybe there does need to be another investigation into the press, because as it stands at the moment, there seems to be a lot of people calling themselves a journalist who are nothing more than propaganda makers. Anyway, good chats, as you were.
Interesting reading the comments on social media today in response to Prince Harry's win. Dr. Naraval on X said to have extracted an apology from NGN for the serious intrusion, phone hacking, and surveillance of Harry is a victory. Apology to Harry, to Princess Diana, accountability of serious unethical journalism, a massive payout. Harry is smart. Ian Vine on X said, anyone who is able to get accountability and truth from the Sun deserves our full respect and thanks. As too many of us know, their smears and lies can ruin lives. Hashtag don't buy the Sun. Marian Ram said, I've always said that if you want to change, you have to be willing to be the one to stand up and effect change. Prince Harry did that and more. I feel like a proud mom. I hope one day my own son will do for me what Prince Harry did for his mother. Andrea Marius said he got an apology for what they did to his mother. He stood up for her like no one else in that family ever has. Good for him. Pat says, this is how our children should love us, even when we're gone. Hashtag Prince Harry. And fans on social media are not the only ones who commented on Prince Harry's win. Prince Harry's uncle, Charles Spencer, also supported his nephew. In a message on social media, he says, it takes an enormous amount of guts to take on opponents like NGN, and great tenacity to win. And it's just wonderful that Harry fought for and gained an apology to his mother. She would be incredibly touched at that, and rightly proud. I do love the way the Spencers have continued to show up and support their nephew. And I've got to agree, Harry has stood up for Princess Diana in ways that many others within that family simply are unwilling to do. He's never once taken an opportunity to discredit her lived experiences and her words, sharing her lived experiences and the way that it's made her feel. And now, years after her untimely death, having the people who were responsible for hounding her while she was still here apologize and acknowledge wrongdoing, that's a lot to be proud of. So I agree. I think that she would be very, very proud of her son.
And for those that might have missed it, the final scores come in from the midweek match at the Stadium of Common Sense. The Sun 0, Prince Harry 1. What does that tell us? Isn't he a attention-seeking narcissist that's a hypocrite because he wants privacy but also doesn't want privacy? No, he took it to the court and they bottled it and didn't want to sit there and explain themselves. For 35,000 attempts at trying to dig information up unlawfully. 35,000. Try and imagine that. I don't see why they bothered, because who even reads that rag? I mean, who admits to reading The Sun, whether it's in paper or online? Utter trash. Utter trash. Well done, Harry, and everyone else involved in that. Let's have a look to see how they've covered this breaking news, shall we? Let's go to the Harry section on the Sun's website. Let's have a look. Okay, Prince Harry, a bit of a blurb about him. Oh, George, Kate, Diana. This is the Harry section. Strange. Really strange. Where's this news story, The Sun? I've looked and looked and looked. I can't find it anywhere. I mean, what are you doing? You calling the bank to try and get an overdraft to pay this massive bill? You won't be in business next year, any luck. Hopefully, you'll go exactly the same way as News of the World. Guys, you want an inquiry? There's another one you can have. No, I don't think it's ironic. I think it's fantastic. He took them right to the front doors of the court. Squeakybumtime, lastminute.com/undelete all those emails, please. That's what he did. And I think for him, the out-of-court settlement could be a quid. He's got his apology. He's been proven right, which proves a lot of people, such as yourself, wrong. So all those years he's been talking about privacy, and people like Carol Malone, for example, well, just shut up. If you want privacy, just shut up. You know? He gets his court settlement, she's gone very quiet all of a sudden. And the only people that are obsessing about how much money he's going to get are people like yourself, people like the media, the ones that are complicit in this double standards between the two brothers. One of them is towing the firm's line. He's sold his soul to be king. He'll have to always be in the pockets of the media. The other one has turned around and gone, do you know what? I've had enough of this. No, thank you. I'm out. And then suddenly he became the nation's pariah. And he gets attacked left, right and centre for every single thing that him and his wife does. So, you know, the circle's complete. He's just completely validated everything he's been saying. It's cost the newspaper a couple of million quid. And people like you will sit there and bleat on about William, like, wake up.
There was a segment today which I found particularly comical. It's interesting to see how certain members of the royal commentary group will often flip-flop depending on which way the wind blows. Sometimes they'll make well-reasoned and unbiased observations, but soon enough they'll resort back to their regularly scheduled programming of Harry and Meghan bashing and kissing the ring.
Extraordinary development after the court case was meant to start yesterday. It got postponed because it became clear that there were talks between NGN, the publishers of The Sun, and Prince Harry, who for years has demanded accountability of the newspapers for what he says were unlawful practices that invaded his privacy. And this morning we have news that there has been a settlement agreed to, substantial compensation for Prince Harry, but importantly, I read here, an unequivocal and full apology from NGN to the Duke of Sussex, and I'm quoting, for the serious intrusion by The Sun between 1996 and 2011 into his private life, including incidents of unlawful activities carried out by private investigators working for The Sun.
Yeah, this is a massively big deal. Huge, because what Harry said he wanted, more than money, was accountability. Now, what he's managed to get is the most voluminous, undisclosed sum of money, win, and accountability, because there's this proper apology. And that really is a double score, isn't it, of Harry getting what he wanted and a huge amount of money too. And then we all then think, gosh, what did Harry have to go through? You know, how intrusive, how difficult it must have been. And I had some experience of a similar kind of thing. And it's a sort of situation where you just don't know who to trust. You don't know, is it the porter at the hospital? Is it the person in the car park? Is it your best friend? Is it somebody who says they love you? Have you told anybody? You think, I didn't say a word. How can people know where I am, what I'm doing, where I'm going? And think what he must have gone through and think how he must feel today. My goodness.
Now, I know I'm not the only one who is genuinely confused to hear this from a woman who I've heard on numerous occasions over the years saying that Harry needs to move on and that he's fighting a losing battle. But listen to her now.
In the first instance, you wondered whether there was going to be this battle between what he wanted in accountability and the cash. Is he going to take the cash rather than get the accountability? But I think this is actually a double win for him. Because as Vanessa says, he's got the money and he's got an admission. He's got an admission of serious intrusion by the newspaper. He's got a full and unequivocal apology. They say, forgive me for reading off my phone, but they say they further apologise to the Duke for the impact on him of the extensive coverage and serious intrusion into his private life, as well as the private life of Diana, Princess of Wales, his late mother, in particular, during his younger years.
And I think one of the things we haven't said is how much it has obviously been deemed worth to the group of newspapers not to have all of this out in court. Think what only would have been said and how damaging it would have been. And then people who have condemned Prince Harry as a whinger, as somebody privileged, who's making a big fuss, and why doesn't he just belt up and stop it and start enjoying his life and everything else? I think we'll have to think, if they were prepared to pay him this much, we don't know how much, but undisclosed enormous amount of money must have been, then think how much they didn't want it to come out in court.
The flip-flopping is unreal.
Oh my goodness, he did it. Prince Harry did it. He finally got justice today in his case against The Sun and NGN News. He got them to admit that they did him, and also importantly, his mother, wrong. While the other brother got a hush-hush secret payment and called their mother paranoid, Prince Harry got a full and unequivocal apology from NGN. Oh my goodness. And on top of that, they're going to pay him a huge sum of money. Some people are saying 8 figures. I'm hoping it's 9 figures because he deserves every penny. And that explains why they've ramped up attacks on his wife days before they went to court. As you might know, as soon as they got to court yesterday, at the very last minute, they offered a settlement. And of course, they spent all of yesterday and today trying to work out the exact language of the apology. Harry said that he was going to go all the way, and the danger with going all the way is twofold. Number one, money. This court case alone has probably run him millions and millions in legal fees. There's a strange law in the UK whereby if you're offered a settlement and you refuse a settlement, if you then take it all the way to court and the court awards you even a penny less than what was offered, you will have to pay the legal fees of the opposing side. So I'm very sure that Harry was prepared to do that, but he had another person to consider, and that was Lord Watson. Lord Watson made an incredible statement praising Harry, saying that in the jungle of the press, that usually the press, certain papers are the big cats and no one will dare to slay them or touch them. But Harry has done that. For the first time, he has held them to account. This is momentous. This is huge, because the case started with probably 100 or more people coming together to try and sue this particular newspaper, but unfortunately many of them had to drop out. This particular newspaper has actually paid out over £1 billion in settlements. Now in the UK, our settlements are not as they don't tend to be as huge as the settlements in the US. So for the UK, £1 billion is huge. I am so happy for Harry. I congratulate him. It was not for nothing that his mother, Princess Diana, named him Good King Harry. So happy for him. So happy he got that apology. So happy that finally, maybe people will understand why he had to expose these people as opposed to taking a hush payment that nobody knew about. Even Harry didn't know about the secret payment to his own brother until the court documents revealed it. Can you imagine that? And Harry also said in his book Spare that when he came home for Philip's funeral, the first thing his father and brother asked him was, are you still going to go ahead with the lawsuit? Are you still going to go ahead with the lawsuit? Can you imagine? Not how are you? Not how's your wife? By the way, they never asked him about his wife. Not how are your children? Not how are my niece, how's my niece and nephew? How are my grandchildren? No, it was, are you still going to go ahead with the lawsuit? And when he said yes, his dad said, well, that's a suicide mission. And Harry went, well, they say dragon slayers get burned. I'm happy to get burned. And what Harry has done, he's not just done it for himself, he's actually done it for other people like me, that there are ordinary people where newspapers will just print the most atrocious things about them, and they've got no recourse to the law because they can't afford the lawyer's fees, they can't afford litigation, they can't afford the stress. So I am so proud of him. I'm so proud for standing up for what was right. I'm so proud that he got the apology for himself and his mother. And I'm sure Diana right now is so proud of her good King Harry.
I'm going to disagree. The way that I see it is that the both boys, Diana's sons, are where they're supposed to be. And Harry is walking in his intended path. And I'm glad that it's working out the way it is, because just stop and just think about it. Under the crown, Harry would have been restricted. Harry as an independent is a gift to the world. He has no boundaries. He has no borders. So I just, it would be great to see the brothers reconcile, as best of what works for them and they're comfortable. But yeah, and even then, that has never been his calling. That has never been his passion. And it's too confined for him. I think that Harry has one more thing to go, and he just has so much more to conquer. And he's just getting strength in his skill sets and his exposure. And I'm just proud of Harry. Just keep doing what you're doing. And it's time that the world, and more importantly, the crown, recognize that Harry is his own man. He's a grown-up guy, and he's one to deal with. Archwell Foundation, Archwell Corporation. Harry is a boss, man. He ain't that little boy anymore.
What an absolute triangle of power, and the three parties involved in this triangle are, of course, Harry himself, the Murdoch Group and Murdoch newspapers, and the British non-working royal family. Why are the British non-working royal family involved in this triangle of power? Because you can bet your life they are using every means possible to try and force Murdoch to settle with Harry out of court. Because quite simply, they do not want their dirty laundry to be washed in public. And I think Harry has literally hundreds and hundreds of pages of evidence that show just how he's been treated by his own family, but more interestingly, how his wife has been treated by his own family. Is Harry going to settle today? I don't know. My own personal view is, if Harry settles, he will very cleverly release the details of why he settled, and I think it will be for a massive eye-watering sum. That's going to be a painful lesson for the press to learn. Let's wait and see what happens today. Let me know what you think.
Prince Harry did it. He slayed the dragon. Prince Harry has settled in his case against Murdoch Media, and the Sun newspaper now offers an equivocal apology and for the first time admits to unlawful activity. After years of fighting, after multiple smear campaigns, after being dragged through the mud, Prince Harry shows us he is truly a hero. He has brought the Sun and Murdoch Media to its knees. It's also very important to note that Will Lewis, who is the CEO of the Washington Post, should not be relieved by this. Just because Harry settled does not mean he's off the hook, because all of the findings that Prince Harry did has been sent over to the police. Prince Harry said, "You are going down no matter what." The Duke of Sussex and his co-defendant on this case, Lord Watson, released a statement, which in part read that News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law. Someone like me who has been covering the royals and the British media for about 2 years now, I have known this to be true, but it is so vindicating to finally see this in writing and to see that they are being brought to justice. I don't know why this part gets me emotional, but the fact that Harry went to bat for his mother and won, I just know that Princess Diana is smiling down right now and on him. And it really does cast a bit of a gray shadow on his brother, who, if we remember, had settled before any evidence came to light, he will continue to fight for her and his family. I know he'll probably never see this, but if he does, well done, Prince Harry. You've done us all very proud, and I hope you keep slaying dragons.